Hello my dear students, my name is Hanumant Ladwa. Welcome to Vision Academy. In this video we are going to solve Karnataka State SSLC exercise 14.1 or CBSE class 10 exercise 15.1. Question number 1. Complete the following statements. Roman number 1. Probability of an event E plus probability of the event not E is equal to dash. So here we already know that probability of an event plus probability of an not event is equal to 1. So here the answer is 1. Now let us move on to Roman number 2. The probability of an event that cannot happen is dash. Such an event is called dash. So here we can write the probability of an event that cannot happen is 0 because it is not happening. Such an event is called as impossible event. So here we'll write it is impossible event. Next, Roman number 3. The probability of an event that is certain to happen is dash. Such an event is called. The probability of an event that's certain to happen is the sure event, or we call it as 1. Such an event is called as certain event. So it is certain event. Next we'll move on to Roman number 4. The sum of the probabilities of all the elementary events of an experiment is. So it is always 1. Now let us move on to Roman number 5. The probability of an event is greater than or equal to. So it is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So here always the probability lies within 0 and 1. Question number 2. Which of the following experiments have equally likely outcomes? Explain. Roman number 1. A driver attempts to start a car. The car starts or does not start. So here this may depends on the different factors like fuel, quality of engine, machinery problem, engine problem, etc. So therefore it is not likely outcome. So here we can write this experiment does not have equally likely outcomes because start of car depends on different factors such as fuel, quality of engine, and even machinery problem. Etc. So now let us move on to Roman number 2. A player attempts to shoot a basketball. She or he shoots or misses the shot. So here it all depends on skills of the player. So this experiment is also not have equally likely outcomes. So here we can write this experiment does not have equally likely outcomes because shooting the ball depends upon the player's skill. Now let us move on to Roman number 3. A trial is made to answer a true false question. The answer is right or wrong. In this particular question, so here we are going to get equally likely outcomes because here the person or student has to answer either true or false. Definitely one sure outcome will come. So here we'll write it has equally likely outcomes. This is because true, false questions have only two outcomes. So either true or false. Now let us move on to Roman number 4. A baby is born. It is a boy or a girl. So here baby may be boy or girl. So obviously the output is equally likely outcomes. So here we can write it has equally likely outcomes. It is because the born baby should be either a boy or a girl. Question number 3. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of a football game? When we toss a coin, so we are going to get two outcomes, either head or tail. So tossing a coin is always considered as a fair way of deciding in a football game because it has only two outcomes, either head or tail. The coin is always unbiased. So let us write the same here. We'll write tossing a coin is always considered as a fair way of deciding in a football game because it has only two outcomes, either head or tail. A coin is always unbiased. Question number 4. Which of the following cannot be the probability of an event? A. 2 by 3, B. minus 1.5, C. 15%, D. 0.7. So here option B is the correct answer because here the probability always lies in between 0 and 1 and it cannot be negative. So hence B is the option which is not a probability of an event. So here let us write this is because probability lies from 0 to 1. Question number 5. If probability of an event E is equal to 0.05, what is the probability of not E? So let us find the solution for the given problem. Here they have already given probability of an event P of E is equal to 0.05 and here we already know that probability of an event plus probability of an not event is equal to 1. So probability of an event is 0.05 plus probability of not event is equal to 1. Now transform this 0.05 from LHS to RHS. So here we'll get probability of not event E is equal to 1 minus 0.05. So this gives us probability of an not event is equal to 0.95. Question number 6. A bag contains lemon flavored candies only. Malini takes out one candy without looking into the bag. What is the probability that she takes out? Roman number 1, an orange flavored candy. Roman number 2, a lemon flavored candy. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. So let us take Roman number 1. So here this is impossible event because in a bag it contains only lemon flavored candies, not orange flavored candies. So here the probability of taking out an orange flavored candies is 0. 0 means this is an impossible event. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2, a lemon flavored candy. So here it is sure or certain event. So let us write probability of taking out a lemon flavored candies is 1. So 1 represent it is a certain event. So this is a certain event. Question number 7. It is given that in a group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students not having the same birthday is 0.992. What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthday? So now let us find the solution for the given problem. Let event E be the event of not having the same birthday. So therefore we can write probability of an event E is equal to 0.992, which is given in the question. So next we'll write let E bar be the event of having the same birthday. Therefore we can write probability of an not event is equal to what we need to find. So here we already know that probability of an event plus probability of the not event is equal to 1. So let us substitute probability of an event, that is 0.992 plus probability of an not event we have to find. So that is the event of having the same birthday we need to find. So is equal to 1. Now let us transform this 0.992 from LHS to RHS. Here we'll get probability of the not event is equal to 1 minus 0.992. So this gives us probability of an not event is equal to 0.008. Question number 8. A bag contains 3 red balls and 5 black balls. A ball is drawn at random from the bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is Roman number 1 red, Roman number 2 not red? Let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write in a bag number of red balls is equal to, so they have already given 3. Next we'll write number of black balls is equal to, so that is 5. Now you can see the total number of balls is equal to 3 plus 5 is 8. Now we'll write Roman number 1 probability of drawing red balls is equal to number of red balls whole divided by total number of balls. So here number of red balls are 3 and total number of balls are 8. So that is 3 by 8. Next we'll write Roman number 2. So not a red ball means it is black ball. So here we'll write probability of drawing not red balls is equal to, not red means black balls. Here we'll write number of black balls whole divided by total number of balls is equal to, so here number of blacks are black balls are 5 and divided by total number of balls are 8. So that is 5 by 8. Question number 9. A box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles and 4 green marbles. One marble is taken out of the box at random. What is the probability that the marble taken out will be Roman number 1 red, Roman number 2 white, Roman number 3 not green. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write in a box number of red marbles is equal to 5. Next we'll write number of white marbles is equal to 8. Next we'll write number of green marbles is equal to 4. So next we are going to find the total number of marbles. Here we'll write total number of marbles is equal to 5 plus 8 gives us 13. 13 plus 4 is 17. Now we'll write Roman number 1. So that is probability of having only red ball. So here we'll write probability of taking out red marble is equal to number of red marbles whole divided by total number of marbles. Here you can see number of red marbles are 5 and total number of marbles are 17, that is 5 by 17. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2, that is number of white marbles. Here we'll write probability of taking out white marbles is equal to, here we'll write number of white marbles whole divided by total number of marbles is equal to, so number of white marbles are 8 divided by total number of marbles are 17. Next we'll move on to the third one, that is not green. So probability of having not green is either red or white marble. Let us write, here we'll write taking a marble which is not green means taking out either red or white marble. Here therefore we can write probability of taking out not green marbles is equal to number of red marbles and white marbles whole divided by total number of marbles. Here you can write number of red marbles are 5 plus number of white marbles are 8 divided by total number of marbles are 17. So this gives us 5 plus 8 gives us 13. So 13 divided by 17. Question number 10. A piggy bank contains 100 50 paise coins, 50 rupees 1 coins, 20 rupees 2 coins and 10 rupees 5 coins. If it is equally likely that one of the coins will fall out when the bank is turned upside down, what is the probability that the coin Roman number 1 will be a 50 paise coin, Roman number 2 will not be a rupees 5 coin? Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write number of 50 paise coins is equal to 100 because it is already given. Next we'll write number of rupees 1 coins is equal to 50. Next we'll write number of rupees 2 coins is equal to 20. Next we'll write number of rupees 5 coins is equal to 10. Next we'll find the total number of coins. Here we'll write total number of coins is equal to 100 plus 50, 150, 150 plus 20 is 170, 170 plus 10 is 180. Now we'll write the first one will not be a 50 paisa coin. So in the question they have given what is the probability of the coin if it falls down when we turn the bank upside down. So let us write here the first one, Roman number 1, that is probability of the coin is 50 paise is equal to number of 50 paise coin whole divided by total number of coins. So this gives us total number of 50 paise coins are 100 divided by total number of coins gives us 180. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2. Here falling coin will not be rupees 5 because they have given in the question will not be a rupees 5 coin, means it may be 50 paise coin, 1 rupee coin or 2 rupees coins. So here falling coin will not be rupees 5 coins means it may be 50 paise coin, it may be rupees 1 coin and it may be rupees 2 coins. So here we'll write therefore probability of coin is not rupees 5 is equal to number of 50 paise rupees 1 and rupees 2 coins whole divided by total number of coins. So this gives us number of 50 paise coins is 100 plus number of 1 rupee coins are 50 plus number of 2 rupees coins are 20 whole divided by total number of coins is 180. So this results in 100 plus 50 is 150, 150 plus 20 is 170, 170 divided by 180. Question number 11. Gopi buys a fish from a shop for his aquarium. The shopkeeper takes out one fish at a random from a tank containing 5 male fish and 8 female fish. See the figure. What is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write number of male fish is equal to 5. Next we'll write number of female fish is equal to 8. Next we'll write total number of fish is equal to 5 plus 8 is 13. Now we'll write probability of taking male fish is equal to number of fish favorable to the event whole divided by total number of fish. So here number of fish favorable to the event is male fish. So here male fish is 5. So let us write 5 divided by total number of fishes are 13. So that is 5 by 13. Question number 12. A game of chance consists of spinning an arrow which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See the figure, and these are equally likely outcomes. What is the probability that it will point at Roman number 1, 8, Roman number 2, an odd number, Roman number 3, a number greater than 2, Roman number 4, a number less than 9. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. So here we'll write total number of chances is equal to, here you can see the total number of chances are 1 to 8. So it is 8. Now we'll write Roman number 1, that is 8. We'll write probability of arrow pointing 8 is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of chances. Is equal to, so here number of favorable events, so there is only 1, 8, so that's the reason we are going to write 1 divided by total number of chances are 8. Now let us move on to Roman number 2, an odd number. You can see the odd number is 1, 3, 5 and then 7. So there are total 4 odd numbers are present. So let us write here probability of arrow pointing odd numbers is equal to, here we'll write number of odd numbers in a wheel whole divided by total number of chances. So here total odd numbers are 4 divided by total number of chances are 8. So this gives us 4 ones and 4 twos. So this 1 by 2. Next we'll write Roman number 3, a number greater than 2. Now let us write P is the probability of an arrow pointing the number greater than 2. So here this gives us numbers greater than 2 in the wheel divided by total number of chances. So here this gives us number of numbers greater than 2. Greater than 2 means 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 numbers and total number of chances are 8. So 6 divided by 8. So this gives us 2 3s are 2 4s are. So that is 3 by 4. Next we'll move on to Roman number 4, that is a number less than 9. Now we'll write probability of arrow pointing the number less than 9 is equal to number less than 9 in the wheel whole divided by total number of chances. Here we can write the number less than 9. So here you can see the maximum number is 8 only. So all numbers are less than 9 only. So hence there are total 8 numbers. 8 divided by total number of chances are also 8. So it is cancelled by 8 ones are 8 ones are. So probability here it is 1. Question number 13. A die is thrown once find the probability of getting Roman number 1 a prime number, Roman number 2 a number lying between 2 and 6, Roman number 3 an odd number. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here first we'll write number of faces of dice. So here there are total 6 phases like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 phases. So now we can write therefore total number of events is equal to 6. Here let us consider the first one, that is a prime number. So in between 1 and 6, 2, 3 and 5 are the 3 prime numbers. So let us write the prime numbers first. Prime numbers on the dice is equal to 2, 3 and 5. So there are total 3 numbers. Now let us write therefore the probability of getting prime numbers is equal to prime numbers on the dice whole divided by total number of events. So here prime numbers on dice are 3 and total number of events are 6. So 3 by 6. So this one can also be written as 1 by 2 because it will get cancelled by 3 ones are 3 twos are 6. Now let us move on to Roman number 2. Here you can see a number lying between 2 and 6. So here the numbers that lies between 2 and 6 are 3, 4 and 5. Now let us write the numbers lying between 2 and 6 are 3, 4, 5. So there are total 3 numbers. Now let us write therefore probability of getting a number lying between 2 and 6 is equal to numbers between 2 and 6 whole divided by total number of events. Here the numbers between 2 and 6 are total 3 and the total number of events are 6. So that is 3 by 6. Now let us move on to Roman number 3. Here you can see an odd number. So in between 1 to 6 there are 3 odd numbers, that is 1, 3 and 5 are the 3 odd numbers. Now let us write odd numbers on dice is equal to 1, 3, 5. So there are total 3 in numbers. Now therefore we'll write probability of getting odd numbers is equal to number of odd numbers whole divided by total number of events. So here number of odd numbers are 3 and total number of events are 6. So again we are going to get 3 by 6. Question number 14. One card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of getting Roman number 1 a king of red color, Roman number 2 a face card, Roman number 3 a red face card, Roman number 4 the jack of hearts, Roman number 5 a spade, Roman number 6 the queen of diamonds. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write all possible number of elementary events is equal to 52 because there are total number of cards in a deck are 52. So now let us continue with the Roman number 1, a king of red color. So let us write Roman number 1, number of red color kings is equal to 2. Therefore we'll write probability of drawing red color king is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events. So this gives us here total number of favorable events are 2 and total number of possible events, that is elementary events, are 52. So 2 divided by 52. Now let us move on to Roman number 2. Here a face card. Here we'll write number of face cards is equal to 12. Therefore probability of drawing face cards is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events. So here number of favorable events are 12 divided by number of possible events are total number of elementary events, that is 52. Next we'll move on to Roman number 3. Here you can see a red face card. Number of red face cards is equal to 6. Therefore probability of drawing red face cards is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events is equal to, so here number of favorable events are 6 and divided by total number of possible events are, that is total number of elementary events, 52. Next we'll move on to Roman number 4. Here the jack of hearts. Number of jack of hearts is equal to 1. Now we'll write therefore probability of drawing of jack of heart is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events is equal to, so number of favorable events are 1 divided by total number of possible events are elementary events, that is again 52. Next we'll move on to Roman number 5. Here you can see a spade. Number of spade is equal to 13. Therefore probability of drawing number of spade card is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events is equal to, so number of spade cards are 13 and total number of possible events are 52. Now let us move on to the sixth one, Roman number 6, the queen of diamonds. So here we'll write number of diamond queen is equal to 1. Now write therefore probability of drawing number of diamond queen is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by total number of possible events is equal to, so number of diamond queen is 1, so it is 1 divided by 52. Question number 15. 5 cards, the 10, jack, queen, king and ace of diamonds are well shuffled with their face downwards. One card is then picked up at random. Roman number 1, what is the probability that the card is the queen? Roman number 2, if the queen is drawn and put aside, what is the probability that the second card picked up is A, an ace, B, a queen? Let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write total number of possible events is equal to 5 because there are 5 cards. So let us continue with the first one, Roman number 1. Here we'll write number of queen card is equal to 1. Therefore, probability of getting queen card is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by all possible events. So this gives us number of favorable events are queen is 1. So here we'll write 1 divided by all possible events are 5. That is 1 by 5. Now let us move on to Roman number 2. So if the queen is drawn and put aside, so what is the probability that the second card picked up is A and ace? So here out of 5 cards, 1 card queen is kept aside. So here we remain with only 4 cards. So here we are going to write when queen is drawn and put it aside, only 4 cards are left. Here we'll write total number of possible events is equal to, now it is 4. Here let us continue with A and ace. A, number of ace card is equal to 1. So therefore probability of getting ace card is equal to number of favorable events whole divided by all possible events. So here number of favorable events are 1 and all possible events are, here it is 4, that is 1 by 4. Now let us move on to B, that is a queen. So B gives us, here we'll write now number of queen card is equal to 0. Why? Because it is already drawn and kept aside. So 1 queen is there and it is kept aside. So therefore we are going to get 0 queen cards now. So therefore probability of getting queen card is equal to 0 divided by total number of possible events is by 4. So this gives us 0 only. So it is an impossible event. Question number 16. 12 defective pens are accidentally mixed with 132 good ones. It is not possible to just look at a pen and tell whether or not it is a defective. One pen is taken out at random from this lot. Determine the probability that the pen taken out is a good one. So let us find the solution for the given problem. So let us write here number of good pens is equal to, so they have given 132. Next we'll write number of defective pens which are mixed up with 132. So that is, here they've given 12 defective pens are mixed up with 132 good ones. Next we'll write total number of pens. Here we'll write total number of pens, that is both good ones and defective ones together gives us total number of pens. So that is 4, this is 4, 144. Next here we'll write therefore probability of taking good pen is equal to number of good pens whole divided by total number of pens. So here we can write number of good pens are 132 and total number of pens are 144. So that is 132 divided by 144. Question number 17, Roman number 1. A lot of 20 bulbs contain 4 defective ones. One bulb is drawn at random from the lot. What is the probability that this bulb is defective? Let us move on to Roman number 2. Suppose the bulb drawn in Roman number 1 is not defective and is not replaced. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the rest. What is the probability that this bulb is not defective? Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write total number of bulbs is equal to a lot consisting of total 20 bulbs. So let us write 20. Next we'll write number of defective bulbs is equal to, they have already given 4. Next, in order to find the bulbs which are good one, so here we'll write number of good bulbs is equal to, so here in a total number of bulbs we need to remove the defective bulbs. So here we are going to get number of good bulbs, that is 20 minus 4 gives us 16 good bulbs. Now therefore we can write probability of getting a defective bulb is equal to number of defective bulbs whole divided by total number of bulbs. So here number of defective bulbs are 4 and divided by total number of bulbs are 20. So that is 4 divided by 20. Now let us move on to Roman number 2. So this is Roman number 1. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2. Suppose the bulb drawn in 1 is not defective and is not replaced. Here we'll write suppose a good bulb is drawn and not replaced. Number of bulbs left is equal to, because in a total number of bulbs one good bulb is drawn and here we'll remain with 19, that is 20 minus 1 gives us 19. Now we'll write and number of good bulbs left in the lot is equal to, so here number of good bulbs are 16 and one good bulb is drawn, so that is -1. So this gives us 15. So 15 non-defective, or they are good ones, non-defective bulbs remain. Now we'll write, therefore probability of taking a bulb not defective, or we call it as good one, is equal to number of good bulbs whole divided by total number of bulbs. So this gives us number of good bulbs here are 15, so that is non-defectives, divided by total number of bulbs here are 19. So here we'll write 15 by 19. Question number 18. A box contains 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears Roman number 1 a 2-digit number, Roman number 2 a perfect square number, Roman number 3 a number divisible by 5. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we are going to write total number of discs is equal to 90, which is already given in the question. Now we are going to write disc containing 2-digit number is equal to, we can say 81, because here 1 to 9 all are single digit number, from 10 onwards 10 to 90, so it will be 2-digit number. So here we'll write from 10 to 90 is equal to total 81 numbers. Now we'll write, therefore probability of disc drawn containing 2-digit is equal to number of discs containing 2-digit whole divided by total number of discs. So here number of discs containing 2 digits are 81 and total number of discs are 90. So that is 81 divided by 90. So here the solution for the Roman number 1. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2, a perfect square number. Let us write here, first we'll write perfect squares on the discs are you can see 1 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square because 2 2s are 4. Next 3 3s are 9, 4 4s are 16, 5 5s are 25, 6 6s are 36. Next 7 7s are 49, 8 8s are 64. Next 9 9s are 81, 10 10s are 100, but it crosses the limit of the total number of discs. So we are going to stop at 81. So here 1, 4, 6, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64 and 81. So total 2, 4, 6, 8 and 9 perfect square discs are present. Now we'll write, therefore probability of taking the discs containing perfect square is equal to number of discs with perfect square whole divided by total number of discs. Here number of discs with perfect square are 9 divided by total number of discs are 90. So 9 divided by 90. Now let us move on to Roman number 3, a number divisible by 5. So here let us write Roman number 3, numbers divisible by 5 on the discs are. So here we can write the first number 5, the next one is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85 and then 90. Here total 18 discs are present which are divisible by 5. Now we'll write therefore probability of taking discs whose number is divisible by 5 is equal to discs number divisible by 5 whole divided by total number of discs. So here we can write discs divisible by 5 are 18 and total number of discs are 90. 18 by 90. Question number 19. A child has a die whose 6 faces show the letters as given below. A, B, C, D, E, A. The die is thrown once. What is the probability of getting Roman number 1 A, Roman number 2 D? Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here all possible events is equal to 6 because the die consisting of total 6 faces. So that's the reason all possible events are 6. Now let us continue with the Roman number 1. Here we need to find the probability of getting A. Here we'll write first number of faces written with A is 2 because in the question you can see A, B, C, D, E and again A. So A is repeated 2 times. So now the number of faces written with A is 2. So therefore probability of getting A is equal to number of faces written with A whole divided by all possible events. So here number of faces written with A is 2 and all possible events are 6. That is, let us move on to Roman number 2. So here we need to find the probability of getting D. Here we'll write number of faces written with D is only 1. Now therefore probability of getting D is equal to number of faces written with D divided by all possible events. So here number of faces written with D is 1 and divided by all possible events are 6. That is 1 by 6. Question number 20. Suppose you drop a die at random on a rectangular region shown in figure. What is the probability that it will land inside the circle with the diameter 1 meter? So let us find the solution for the given problem. here we need to write first length and breadth of this rectangular region is 3 meter and 2 meter respectively. So let us write length and breadth of the rectangular region are 3 meter and 2 meter respectively. Now we'll write area of the rectangle is equal to length into breadth. So here length is 3 meter and breadth is 2 meter. So that is 3 2s are 6 meter square. Now let us write diameter of the circle is given is equal to, that is 1 meter, and radius is, we can write its radius is equal to half meter. Now write area of the circle is equal to, we know the formula to find the area of the circle, so that is pi r square. So here pi value is 22/7 into r square is radius, so that is 1/2 into 1/2 is r into r is r square. So here it will get cancelled by 2 1s are 2 11s are 22. Now we'll remain with 11 1s are 11, 11 1s are 11 divided by 7 2s are 14. So that is 11 divided by 14 we are going to get. So now we'll write therefore probability of landing the die inside the circle is equal to area of the circle whole divided by area of the rectangle. So here area of the circle is 11 divided by 14. 11 divided by 14 whole divided by area of the rectangle. Here it is area of the rectangle is 6 meter square. So that is 6. So this one can also be written as 11 divided by 14 into 1 divided by 6. So this gives us 11 1s are 11. Next 14 6s are 84. Question number 21. A lot consists of 144 ball pens, of which 20 are defective and the others are good. Noori will buy a pen if it is good, but will not buy if it is defective. The shopkeeper draws one pen at random and gives it to her. What is the probability that Roman number 1 she will buy it, Roman number 2 she will not buy it? Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write first total number of ball pens is equal to, so here in the question they have given total 144 ball pens. Next we'll write number of defective pens is equal to, so there are 20 defective pens. So if I subtract this 20 defective pens from the total number of ball pens, then I'm going to get the number of good pens. Let us write here number of good pens is equal to 144 minus 20 gives us 124. So let us continue with Roman number 1. Here Noori buys the pen when it is good. So therefore probability of buying the pen is equal to number of good pens whole divided by total number of pens. So here number of good pens are 124 and divided by total number of pens are 144. Next we'll move on to Roman number 2. She will not buy it. So let us move on to Roman number 2. Noori will not buy the pen if it is defective. Therefore, probability of not buying the pen is equal to number of defective pens whole divided by total number of pens. Here you can see the number of defective pens are 20 divided by total number of pens are 144. Question number 22. Refer to example 13. Roman number 1. Complete the following table. Here event sum on 2 dice probability is given. So sum on 2 dice is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and probability for sum on 2 dice 2 is 1 by 36 and for 8 is 5 by 36 and 12 is 1 by 36. Now Roman number 2, a student argues that there are 11 possible outcomes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Therefore, each of them has a probability 1 divided by 11. Do you agree with this argument? Justify your answer. Now, let us find the solution for the given problem. Here, we'll write when 2 dice are thrown randomly, then the possible outcomes are, here we can write the possible outcomes 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Next 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Next 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. Similarly 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6. So there are total 6 phases on the dice. So here 2 dice are thrown. So that's the reason. So we have got total 6 into 6. So 6 rows and 6 columns. Total all possible events are 36 because 6 6 are 36. So here we'll write therefore total number of all possible events is equal to 36. Now let us move on to the first event, sum on 2 dice when it is 3. So sum on 2 dice is 3 is, you can see here 1 and 2. So that gives us 3 and even 2 and 1 gives us 3. So there are only 2 events which gives the sum on 2 dice 3. So let us write here sum on 2 dice 3 is equal to, here we'll write this one as 1 comma 2 and one more is 2 comma 1. So if I add 1 plus 2 it will become 3 and 2 plus 1 is also so 3. So there are two events. Now we'll write probability of sum is 3 is equal to number of events with sum 3 whole divided by all possible events. So here this gives us number of events with sum 3 is 2 events divided by all possible events are 36. So 2 divided by 36. Now similarly we'll go for sum on dice 4. So here sum on dice 4 is equal to, so here this is going to give us 1 comma 3, next 2 comma 2 and one more is 3 comma 1. So there are total 3 events. Now you can see 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 1 is also 4. So that's the reason we have got 3 events here. Next we'll write probability of sum is 4 is equal to number of events with sum 4 is 3 and all possible events are 36. So here let me write the first one 2 by 36. So 2 by 36 and sum on dice 4 is 3 by 36. Now let us move on to sum on dice 5. Here we'll write sum on dice 5 is equal to, here we can write 1 comma 4, then we can write 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2 and then 4 comma 1 is equal to, so there are total 4 events. Now we'll write probability of sum is 5 is equal to, so there are 4 outcomes, so that is number of events with sum 5 is 4 and divided by all possible events are 36. Similarly we'll write 4 by 36. Next we'll move on to sum on dice 6. Dice 6 is equal to, here we can write the first one 1 comma 5, next we'll write 2 comma 4, then you can find 3 comma 3, 4 comma 2, next 5 comma 1. Okay, only these many. So here there are 1 2 3 4 5 events. Now we'll write probability of sum is 6 is equal to 5 divided by 36. So here we'll write 5 divided by 36. Similarly we'll go on, move on to sum on 2 dice 7. Here we'll write sum on dice 7 is equal to, here you can find 1 comma 6, next 2 comma 5 gives us 7, next 3 comma 4 7, 4 comma 3 7, next 5 comma 2 gives 7, next 6 comma 1 gives 7. So there are 2 4 6 events. Therefore probability of sum is 7 is equal to 6 divided by 36. Here we'll write 6 divided by 36. Now let us move on to sum on dice 9. 9 is equal to, here you can see 9 in the first row, it is not possible. Here in the second row, it is not possible. In the third row, 3 plus 6 gives us 9. So here we'll write 3 comma 6 gives us 9. Next we'll move on to 4 plus 5. 4 comma 5 gives us 9. Next 5 comma 4 gives us 9. And here 6 comma 3 gives us 9. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 events. Now we'll write probability of sum is 9 is equal to 4 divided by 36. So here we'll write 4 by 36. Now we'll move on to sum on 2 dice 10. Here we'll write sum on dice 10 is equal to first row, second row, third row, and in the fourth row you can find 4 comma 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10. So let us write 4 comma 6. Next 5 comma 5. Next 6 comma 4. Here there are 3 events. Now we'll write probability of sum is 10 is equal to 3 divided by 36. Here we'll write 3 by 36. Similarly, sum on 2 dice 11 is equal to, here we'll write search for sum of 11. In the first row it is not possible, second row it is not possible, third row not possible, fourth row is also not possible, and in the fifth row you can see 5 comma 6. 5 plus 6 gives us 11. So here we can write 5 comma 6. Next 6 comma 5. Here there are 2 events. Therefore we'll write probability of sum is 11 is equal to 2 divided by 36. Now similarly we'll write this one as 2 divided by 36. Now we'll move on to Roman number 2. Here we'll write no argument can be agreed because it is already justified in Roman number 1. Question number 23. A game consists of tossing a 1 rupee coin 3 times and noting its outcome each time. Hanif wins if all the tosses give the same result, that is 3 heads or 3 tails, and loses otherwise. Calculate the probability that Hanif will lose the game. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here if the 3 coins are tossed, each coin consisting of head and tail, only 2 possible outcomes. So here we'll write 2 sides of the coin and there are 3 coins. So that is 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8 possible outcomes we are going to get. So now we are going to write, here we'll write when 1 rupee coin is tossed 3 times, all the possible outcomes are, here we can write this one as head, head, head. It may be head, head, tail. It may be head, tail, head. Next we'll write tail, head, head. Next you can reverse this one. You can see here, instead of writing HHT, so that is head, head, tail, we can write tail, tail, head. So here we'll write tail, tail, then head. Next, similarly here, head, tail, head can be written as tail, head, tail. So that is tail, head, tail. head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail, and the last one is tail, tail, tail. Here you can see 2, 4, 6, 8 possible outcomes. Now let us write set of all possible outcomes is equal to 8. Now we'll write number of outcomes in which all the results are not same. Here you can see in the all possible outcomes, head, head, head and tail, tail, tail has got the same result. So here number of outcomes in which all the results are not same means except these two, all other outcomes will be included. So let us include here head, head, tail, next head, tail, head, next tail, head, head, next tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, and then head, tail, tail. So there are total 6 possible outcomes. So here we are going to write is equal to 6 events. Here we'll write 6 events. Now we'll write probability of Hanif losing the game is equal to number of outcomes in which all the results are not same, whole divided by all possible outcomes. Here number of outcomes in which all the results are not same is 6 divided by all possible outcomes are 8, that is 6 by 8. Question number 24. A die is thrown twice. What is the probability that Roman number 1 5 will not come up either time? Roman number 2 5 will come up at least once. Hint: throwing a die twice and throwing 2 dice simultaneously are treated as the same experiment. Now let us find the solution for the given problem. Here we'll write when a dice is thrown twice, all the possible outcomes are 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Next 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Similarly 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6. So here there are total 6 events into 6 events. Total 6 are 36 events. Now we'll write total number of possible outcomes is equal to 36. Now let us continue with Roman number 1. So 5 will not come up either time. So here let us take let A is equal to 5 appears in first throw. So here you can see the 5 appears in the first throw can be written as 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, 5-6 because in the first throw 5 has appeared in this particular row. So let us write all of these elements 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, then 5-6. So there are total, you can count 2, 4, 6 events. Now let us take let B is equal to 5 appears in second throw. So here you can see the 5 has appeared in a second throw, that is 1, 5, next 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5. So let us write 1, 5 because the second throw result is 5 here you can see. Next we'll write 2, 5, 3, 5, next 4, 5, 5, 5, then 6, 5 is equal to total 6 events. Now we are going to write probability of this A is equal to, here probability of A is 6 divided by total number of possible outcomes are 36. Similarly here we can write probability of B is equal to, probability of B is 6 events divided by total number of possible outcomes are 36. So here probability of A can also be written as, or we already know that probability of A plus probability of not A is equal to 1. So this implies probability of A is 6 by 36 plus probability of not A is equal to 1. Now transform this 6 by 36 from LHS to RHS. So this gives us probability of not A is equal to 1 minus 6 by 36. Now let us take LCM of 36 and multiply this 36 with 1. 36 ones are 36 minus 6 whole divided by 36. So here we are going to get 36 minus 6 is 30 divided by 36. Next we'll move on to probability of B. Similarly here also we can write probability of B plus probability of B bar is equal to 1. So this implies probability of B is 6 by 36 plus probability of B bar is equal to 1. This implies probability of B bar is equal to, now transform this 6 by 36 from LHS to RHS, it will become 1 minus 6 divided by 36. Now again let us take the LCM of 36, multiply this 36 with 1. 36 ones are 36 minus 6 as it is whole divided by 36. So this gives us 36 minus 6 is 30 divided by 36. Now we'll write the required probability is equal to 30 divided by 36 into the next one 30 divided by 36. So this gives us 30 30s are 900 divided by 36 into 36 gives us 1296. So this after cancellation we are going to get 25 divided by 36. Question number 25. Which of the following arguments are correct and which are not correct? Give reasons for your answer. Roman number 1. If two coins are tossed simultaneously, there are three possible outcomes: 2 heads, 2 tails, or 1 of each. Therefore, for each of these outcomes, the probability is 1 by 3. Roman number 2. If a die is thrown, there are two possible outcomes: an odd number or an even number. Therefore, the probability of getting an odd number is 1 by 2. Now, let us find the solution for the given problem. Here let us continue with Roman number 1. The given statement is incorrect. So let us write the given statement is incorrect. So because when two coins are tossed simultaneously, so each coin consisting of two sides and two coins are tossed, then 2 twos are 4 outcomes will come. So let us see which are all those outcomes. We'll write when two coins are tossed simultaneously, there are 4 possible outcomes. Here we can write head, 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 tail, tail, head, and tail, tail. So these are the 4 possible outcomes. Now we'll write probability of getting 2 heads is equal to, here you can see 2 heads is, out of these 4 events, 2 heads is only 1 event. So 1 out of 4 events. Next we'll write probability of getting 2 tails is equal to, out of all the 4 possible outcomes, tail consisting of only 1 event. So 1 out of 4 events, that is 1 by 4. Next we'll write probability of getting either head or tail is equal to, here you can see head or tail, tail or head. So out of 4 possible outcomes, 2 are present. So here 2 events out of 4, that is 2 by 4. So next we'll move on to Roman number 2. If a die is thrown, there are 2 possible outcomes, an odd number or an even number. Therefore the probability of getting an odd number is 1 by 2. So this particular statement is true. Now here we'll write the statement is correct. Now we'll justify it. If a die is thrown, the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are total 6 events. Here we can write odd numbers is equal to, here you can see 1, 3 and 5 are the odd numbers. Next we'll write even numbers is equal to, even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So 2, 4, 6. So now we'll write therefore probability of getting an odd number is, so here odd numbers are 3. So 3 divided by out of 6. So that is 6. So 3 divided by 6, or it will get cancelled by 3 ones are 3 twos are. So it will be 1 by 2.